The following is an address to the nation by Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell.
Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, fellow citizens, in just over 100 days, the government for which you overwhelmingly and decisively voted has succeeded in stopping the economic freefall, bringing a semblance of order back into fiscal management, and restoring hope among you, the people. All those things are the foundation necessary for growth that will follow. You will appreciate that you cannot completely restore what was completely destroyed in 5 years in just 12 short weeks. Fellow Grenadians, the decisions have been tough to make, but we are trying to make them in the interests of all our citizens. I know that we have angered many of our own political supporters by being inclusive of persons who are active members of other political parties in the past. My view, sisters and brothers, is that this is not just the NNP time, but as I said before, it is Grenada's time. I know too that the expectation is that everyone's needs would have been met by now, especially some key supporters. I want to reassure you that we are working hard to make this a reality. Based on your skills, ability and commitment, we will soon be able to find a livelihood. Fellow citizens, we are in the business of uniting all Grenadians, as I've said consistently so, and securing gainful employment for as many people as possible. We are pleased with the way things have started, but of course we will never be satisfied. My government will never be satisfied until the bulk of our people get back to productive work, led by increasing activity in a robust private sector. We will never be satisfied until government meets all its commitments to the workers of this country. We will also never be satisfied until we pay people for their services rendered to government, and that unpaid claims in the Treasury are brought down to a mere minimum. We will never be satisfied until a sustainable strategy is fully in place to ensure that our youths are not left behind. And we have begun, and we'll move forward with hope and expectations. The challenges are great, and there are still a lot of tough decisions and hard work ahead. But your government is at work. That's why I'm pleased to announce tonight that the fundamentals of this recovery are strong and the direction of your government is certain. My dear sisters and brothers all, you will be amazed at the sheer number of dishonest practices that were done in your name by the previous administration. As much as I have no desire to raise this issue again and again, I must say, however, that for a previous government that claimed honesty, integrity, and transparency, the discoveries are horrendous, to say the least. We want to ensure that we inform you, the people, and that we provide the details of those practices down the road. After all, a people informed is a people empowered. Coming in, we knew the economic realities were bad, but we have found them to be much worse than we thought. We were immediately confronted with a treasury of unpaid claims at an all-time high of $115 million and counting. These include millions that were due to the University of the West Indies, the Caribbean Development Bank, the Regional Security System, the Commonwealth Secretariat, the Kuwaiti Fund, the World Bank, the OECS Secretariat, and many other organizations regionally and internationally. My friends, although appalled, we are not daunted. We understood then the enormous responsibility that we had assumed. Your government has now regularized the situation with both the Kuwaiti Fund and the World Bank, thereby ensuring that critical projects are up and moving, creating much needed jobs and infrastructure. We have also affirmed our commitment to the Caribbean Development Bank and other regional organizations. Here again, this effort is part of our carefully conceived strategy to revive the Grenadian economy. I am pleased to announce that Grenada has now completed its subscription about $3 million to the CARICOM Development Fund after 3 years of not being able to meet its obligations. This payment paves the way for the funds to be eventually channeled through the Grenada Development Bank to assist in boosting the productive sectors so that more jobs can be created. I can now confirm, sisters and brothers, that the long-awaited and much anticipated Agricultural Feeder Roads Project Phase 2 has begun. We promised to do so within our first 100 days, and we have delivered. Tonight, we can report that many CCC workers are returning to work after 4 long years of frustration. Just look at the difference. What the previous government could not do in 4 years, our government was able to do in just 4 weeks. I wish to recognize the efforts of all involved in resolving the issues so that this project could begin, in particular, the Minister of Works, Honorable Gregory Boyne. In the coming weeks, from virtually immediately, several road projects will begin. Other projects in stream include the St. Mark's Flood Mitigation Project, the Carriacou Marina Project, and the manufacturing projects which have started at Frequenting. Between now and July 1st, thousands of workers will be out, claiming a livelihood in a number of areas. Those areas include the debushing program, the concrete roads and house repair programs. The small business loan scheme would also be in place by then to encourage entrepreneurship among our citizens. What these projects have all in common is the ability to put people back to work. Thousands of those persons will be employed once again. We are committed to creating opportunities for our citizens, especially our young people. We understand that we have to consolidate our economic opportunities in such a way as to make them sustainable more than just seasonal shifts. Tonight, I wish to announce that using public-private partnership, we'll be pursuing the following projects that will generate hundreds or even thousands more jobs. These include the construction of the Governor General's residence, the upgrading of Cuthbert Peters Park, the construction of the police and prison facilities, the refurbishment of the Parliament building, the expansion of Lauriston Airport, the renovation of the Maurice Bishop International Airport. What these projects have all in common is the ability to put people back to work. During these first 100 days, I've had the opportunity to meet many of our citizens and stakeholders. I've been very encouraged by your willingness to work together with government to address the many issues facing us at this time. Moreover, I've been particularly pleased with both the tone and substance of those dialogue. Fellow citizens, one of the most distressing issues for many Grenadians has been the lack of basic medicines at our hospitals and health clinics. From day one in office, this issue has been tackled head-on in an effort led by Dr. the Honorable Clarice Modest-Curran, our Minister for Health. I'm also pleased to report that over $2 million have already been paid to various suppliers. Furthermore, a dedicated account has been established into which donations from home and abroad can now be made to support the provision of basic medication and hospital services. In addition, the Ministry of Health has now established a donations desk to ensure that all contributions to our health system are received and processed in a timely manner. No longer will there be reports of nationals and friends of Grenada sending equipment and medical supplies only to learn they remain on the port for months because no one knew about their arrival or they were never cleared. The new arrangements would also ensure that these contributions will be based on Grenada's needs and will be suitably quality. The work on national health insurance is ongoing. The report from the advisory committee, led by former Senator Chester Humphrey, is expected within the next few weeks. All social partners agree that this is an issue of national priority. Our government has reached out to all labor unions, as together we seek to give our workers their due, while at the same time getting our economy growing again. These discussions have been cordial and constructive, and some progress has indeed been made. In this regard, we are pleased to note that for the first time in 5 years, all workers have received salary increases. Let the record show that workers of this country have always fared better under the new National Party's governments. Ultimately, government will meet all its obligations to public servants. We say, continue to work with us because we are working for you. We have begun a complete restructuring of the economy with recommendations from the International Monetary Fund, but with our clear direction that any program must have growth and job creation as its fundamental focus. The new economy requires that government put its fiscal house in order. The new economy demands that government lives within its means. That is, it must not continue to spend more than it earns. Your government has already begun to demonstrate our commitment by putting our fiscal house in order by some of the measures announced in the 2013 budget. More will follow in the 2014 budget. I am pleased to note that the piloting of the electronic tracking of government vehicles has begun. Based on our observations of this pilot phase, we are moving swiftly to roll out this program for the entire fleet of government vehicles, including police vehicles. Each public servant must understand that every dollar of wasteful expenditure is a dollar less